Struggling to get leads for your online fitness business? I'm going to show you how six-figure online trainers are getting more leads than they can handle. Meet Jean and Jeanette. They both have 20 clients paying £200 per month with the goal of making 10k months, needing 50 clients at that current price. Jean is getting 3 new clients per month and losing 1 client per month. At this rate, it would take him 15 months to get to 50 clients. Jeanette, on the other hand, is currently getting 8 new clients every single month. However, she's losing 4 of them per month. At this rate, it will take her 7.5 months to get to 50 clients. Jean has a lead generation problem. Jeanette has got a client retention problem. I could only help one of them, so of course, I went for Jeanette. I sat down with Jeanette for a coffee and glazed into her eyes. I said, Jeanette girl, there's no easy way for me to tell you, but you're the problem. At first, she gave me the death stare, followed by a slap to the face. Quite hard, that. Well done. She calmed down, I opened up my laptop and identified her problems. Next month, she addressed her client retention issues, and these were the results. She went from losing 4 clients a month to just 2 clients per month, resulting in her achieving 50 clients in just 5 months. More leads equals more clients, but only if you keep them.
Why all leads are not created equal, the 3 ways to get leads, the lead magnet matrix, the 3 levels of lead gen, and how six-figure online trainers are getting leads. The biggest mistakes trainers make when they get the leads, how to convert the leads into clients, how to promote your lead magnets, 3-tier tech stack, and I'm going to give you 200 lead magnets. Let's start off by identifying what I feel a lead is. For me, a lead is a person that's shown an interest in your product or service, and you have some way, shape, or form in contacting them. Whether that's a phone, a direct message on social media, or what's more common, using email marketing, which we're going to talk about in just a bit. But not all leads are created equal, and I'm going to explain why. When you have leads, you'll be looking at on a sliding scale on an engagement level, as well as their purchasing power, and making sure that what you sell is in line with what they can afford. For example, let's say someone subscribed to my email list 1 year ago for a lead magnet, and I've barely been emailing them and they don't follow me on social media. They're going to be a pretty disengaged lead. Let's say someone signed up to my lead magnet recently, the 10 tips to have your best launch yet, find out in the description, and they follow me on Instagram, then you're watching my YouTube video. To me, I would consider you an engaged list. However, my one-to-one service, my growth partnership, is £1,250 per month. Even though I may have an engaged lead, they might not have the purchasing power to afford my one-to-one service. And this is the same for your own online coaching. These are the 2 factors we need to take into account. We can break our leads into 3 categories. Here we've got the red, assume that's blue, and this is our cold leads. Then here, let's say they're lukewarm, excuse the pun. These are your warm leads. And then finally, the ones that we want to obviously get the most, and this is a process through our content and our lead magnets, is to try and get them from cold to warm, and then from warm to hot. Let's give that one a nice little red. So we can break down the quality of our leads based on engagement level as well as their purchasing power. And those 2 factors combined will then bring them down into the traffic light system. But I want to go one step further, and I want to introduce my main man, Eugene, come up with the 5 stages of awareness. So this is what you should be looking at when you're thinking of creating content, lead magnets, and even your landing pages. Those different stages are unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and then most aware. You're currently watching this video because you want more leads that results in more clients. So you are problem aware, as in low number of clients. By me doing this video, I'm making you aware of the solution, which is get more leads, convert more leads equals get more clients. So this is the solution here, which is leads. Get leads. Now I'm going to also let you know about my Your Best Launch program, which is making you product aware. If you watch this video and the video I'm going to show you at the end of this video, as well as subscribe to my email list and pay me some money, then I would consider you the most aware, and other people could say a fan. Stop it. Now let's make it specific to you. Someone is overweight. This is them being stumpy. Not the best drawer here, I know. And they're unaware of why that is. I know it sounds confusing, but stick with me. You may put a piece of content out of why tracking your food is not the best way to go. So now you're making them problem aware. even though tracking is really good. Then you'll talk about the solution. So in your piece of content, you could give them 3 ways to diet without tracking. And then to make them product aware, you could have an 8-week challenge that you're launching specifically aiming at those which want to lose weight without tracking. And for you, your most aware will be people that have paid previously, that are followers on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Those are your super fans. So how can you get more leads? Well, I've broken it down into 3 different ways. Way 1, you've got organic content. This is what you'd have your social media platforms for. Once you've got your social media platforms, you'll then want to use lead magnets to generate leads. And we can break that down into collecting emails for email marketing or collecting phone numbers for SMS marketing. Way number 2, you've got paid advertising, whether this is PPC, YouTube ads, meta ads, it could be affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, and even sponsoring maybe someone else's email newsletter. And the third way is outreach, and we can break that down into cold and warm. So when it comes to cold, you've got one-to-one and one-to-many. So one-to-one, you could do cold calling. There's softwares again that will just call people, and if they pick up, it will transfer that person through. And you can also do cold DMs. Then you've got one-to-many, which is email marketing. But in fact, it's more like one-to-one. The reason being is there's softwares out there now where you can scrape data of, say, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and you can then set up email campaigns using warming up emails like software like Instantly. Then you've got what's more commonly used for online personal trainers, which is warm outreach, where you'll direct message those that are followers or engagers in your stories or your posts. So now you know what a lead is and the 3 different ways that you can get the leads. Now let's start looking at lead magnets. And this is a really nice visual. We've got high and low engagement, and we've got easy to consume and hard to consume. And as you can see in the top left, you've got the high converting ones. You've got on the top right, the higher lead quality. Bottom left, you've got low lead quality, and bottom right, you've got low conversions. So we're taking that into account. Later on in this video, I'm going to give you 24 examples that online trainers can use to generate leads. Now you might be wondering, well, what lead magnet should I use? And it will depend on your target market. And most of you might already have a lead magnet. So later on, I'm going to show you how you can promote your lead magnets the right way, the new way, not the old way. Okay. So if you're starting off, I've broken it down into 3 different levels. So we've got level 1, which is select the biggest problem and create a high engagement lead magnet that's easy to consume. Then your next step is going to level 1B, which is create a high quality lead magnet that has high engagement and harder to consume. Now, just because it's the term harder to consume doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile, because as we could see earlier, these ones here, the higher lead quality, because there's like an email series, they're going to be getting content every single day. It might be like mine, 10 daily tips to have your best launch yet. So what do online trainers that are earning 6 figures and more do? Well, they just simply have more lead magnets. They simply have more people that are aware of them, that are problem aware, are solution aware. They have a bigger following. They have a bigger email list. For online personal training, it's pretty simple. You've got training, nutrition, and then lifestyle/accountability. So we can factor that in when we move on to level 2 and level 3. So as you can see here for level 2, let's say your first lead magnet was nutrition and it was 5 high protein recipes. And for your second lead magnet, you're going to make it training related, and that could be 21-day challenge, with it being specifically focusing on maybe at-home bodyweight exercises. And for those online trainers earning more than 6 figures, they simply will have more lead magnets, more promotion of those lead magnets, and doing more selling via emails. So here they might have lead magnet 1 nutrition, lead magnet 2 training, and lead magnet 3 might be some form of trial where it gives them a little bit of accountability. And even if I'm giving you too much overwhelm and you don't respect me because I don't have billions of pounds, then maybe this guy will. You might recognize him, Alex Hormozi. And in his 100 million lead book, he breaks it down into 7 steps to create a lead magnet. Those 7 steps are: step 1, figure out the problem you want to solve for the right customer. Step 2, figure out how you want to solve it. Step 3, figure out how to deliver it. Is it a PDF? Is it a mini course? Is it a challenge? Step 4, make the name interesting and clear. Say what it is on the tin and sex it up a little bit. Step 5, make it easy to consume. Let's say it was a mini ebook. Well, you could record that as a video, and you can also record it as a audio file that people could listen to like a podcast. Step 6, you can tell that I haven't come up with these because I would never ever use the word darn, but Alex does. Step 6, make sure it's darn good. And step 7, which is often overlooked, tell them what to do next. Be clear and concise and tell them more than once. For example, let's say someone does a 21 lean challenge, like my client Josh. He then needs to tell them the paid one is coming up in 10 days time. So now you've built out your lead magnet. Later on, I'm going to tell you the tech stack that you can use for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But this is the most important bit. Are you still using the old fashioned way or trying to capture leads? Or are you using the new way that the best fitness creators around the world are using to get more leads than ever before? Let's start off with the old way. You promote on social media, you tell people to click the link in your bio or the link sticker, which will dramatically reduce your reach. Now on Instagram, for example, you see this big pop-up warning message telling you that you're going offer there and they don't know if it's a scam or not. You've then got to rely on their internet speeds and the load speed of your opt-in page. You need an opt-in page, you need to add their details, then they need to press the submit button, and then they need to check the email for the lead magnet because they might put a dummy email in there. Or you got the new way, which is promoting social media, collect the emails directly from the DMs and deliver the lead magnet directly in the DMs. And I'm going to show you how you can do that right now. Have you ever seen a post on Instagram where they tell you to comment or DM a keyword? Then when they do, they get a comment response from that individual instantaneously, as well as a direct message. Well, this is all automated and it's done via ManyChat, which is a Meta partner, which means it's safe and secure. So here's an example of the one that my client Steve used, and you can see the stats. So here we've got different triggers. We've got comments on a post, sends a message with a keyword, or even clicks a referral link. So if you are using TikTok, you can add that there. And when people click, it starts up a conversation, the automated conversation on Instagram DMs. You can also use this for Facebook as well. And there's other ones out there that work for Twitter as well as LinkedIn. As you can see here, we have a 100% delivery rate and a 94.6% open rate. Compare that to email, you're probably going to be around 20 to 40%. Now, the way I've got this set up, if I've already got their first name and their email address, we skip asking them for that information because we've already got that on our CRM. We use Systemize to Scale. Once you've then collected their email, we can give them specific tags. And for example, here, Steve uses Klaviyo for his email service provider, and it instantaneously adds them to his Klaviyo account and the list that he wants them to be in. If you're using MailChimp or ConvertKit, which is now known as Kit, they also have native integrations at the time recording this. But if you use something else, then you can use something called Zapier. And does it work? Well, I use this myself and I have a much smaller following than my clients. But Josh here, as you can see, he used it for his 21 lean and he managed to get 1,734 people opt in. He also created a heavy metal playlist and got people to comment a keyword or an emoji, and he managed to collect 2,155 emails. Now that would be more, as you can see, but because we already had their emails, we didn't ask for their email again. And then he launched his webinar where we collected over 400 emails and then used email marketing to make sure they turned up for his webinar, that he managed to get 30 people paying £500 for his resistance program. Or like my client Stuart that used a free recipe book. As you can see, 2,276 people in his nutrition fat loss guide that brought in another 478 new emails. And if you're wondering why have I got their heads like that, well, they were all on a spike, but I decided that was a little bit too gruesome for YouTube, so I took their heads off the spike and cleared them up a little bit. And Steve, using my Instagram calorie calculator, where it works out their protein and calorie targets based on the formulas inside Instagram itself, no sending them to a website, and then linking that up again with Systemize to Scale via Zapier. He managed to collect 1,600 new emails from that, and he recently launched his form library, again bringing in more leads. Now the beautiful thing is this enables us to do the 1-2 punch, where one, we've got that email and we're having email autoresponder sending them emails for 10, 20, 30 days, however long we want, promoting our products and services as well as providing value. But we also get to then direct message individuals that have opted in, so we can get them in the DMs as well as email automation. One is automated, one will require some sort of human element to follow up with those individuals. But this is by far the biggest mistake online personal trainers make. They create their lead magnet, they create their ManyChat sequence. They even give them the lead magnet and they have a couple of autoresponders, but then they do this. Fuck all. They don't send follow-up emails. They don't use ongoing email marketing unless they've got something they want to sell, and they don't even follow up via the DMs. So if you are looking to take on clients and you are generating leads, maybe it's not a leads problem, but it's a problem further down the client journey. Maybe you're not nurturing those leads. And I'm going to show you how to convert your leads to clients. Good rule of thumb is to share in public via social media and sell in private. You want to make sure that you're growing your email list because you own your email list. You do not own your Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok accounts. You're just renting them. As I mentioned, you want to nurture your leads through email autoresponders, as well as having one-to-one conversations via Messenger, this being the manual part of things. Then you also need to provide consistent, valuable content to your specific target market, both short form as well as long form. Let's go back to my main man, Eugene. Now, what you want to do, you want to be creating content that's within these individual stages of awareness. For example, it could be 5 biggest problems that dads face when it comes to losing weight once they've had their first child. Now, a piece of solution content, how to keep the dad bod at bay with just 20-minute workouts 3 times per week. Product aware, my brand new 8-week dad bod to Greek gods. I've got you covered, Johnny Potter there. Remember, I gave you that first of all, so stick with it. I am half Greek, so I can claim it. Okay. My dad bod to Greek god 8-week challenge. And those most aware are the ones that consume all of your content as an email subscriber and is even paying you money or was a past client. So you want to create content around that. I'm going to leave you with this. If you don't ask, you don't get. Your goal is to have more one-to-one conversations, because conversations that lead to consultations, and it's consultations that lead to clients. So what are the different ways to promote your lead magnet? Well, you've got organic content, you've got paid ads, you've got link in bio, you've got sticker links, you've got ManyChat, you've got referrals, you've got QR codes, you've got affiliates, you've got trigger links, you've got your website. Plenty of ways to promote your new lead magnet. But for the rest of this video, I'm just going to look at organic content. You've got carousels. So Steve here has a carousel where at the end he has a comment keyword to get access to his lead magnet. I also do the same here where I give my 10 tips for your best launch yet. You can then incorporate reels where you might do a call to action at the end, but ideally you want to do it earlier on in the actual video itself. Ones that have worked really well for me are Reacts videos, where I actually show you what you will get using ManyChat sequence. So the one on the right hand side, I talk about my calorie calculator and I show you through it, and I tell them to comment the keyword on the actual screen. So that's another little tip for you there. Have the actual comment, the keyword on the screen the whole time throughout the video. The other ones that work pretty well are like the B-roll ones, where you're putting captions on the screen and then again having the keyword. And the key thing you want to do here in the caption itself is actually have comment whatever the word is at the very start of the caption, because if people are looking at a reel, for example, they won't see all of the caption. And then my former client Robin, straight simple image post on Facebook and then just long form copy in the actual post itself, and these worked extremely well. Let's now look at the tech stack needed to actually pull everything off and put everything together. For a beginner or someone starting off, I highly recommend focusing your time and energy, focusing on one social media platform and mastering that. For online trainers, your best bet is probably Instagram at the time of recording this video. And then for email marketing, where you're actually going to capture the leads, send out your autoresponders as well as send out your regular emails, use something like MailChimp or Flowdesk. For intermediate, all we're going to do here is maybe add an additional social media platform, or what you can start to do is start using ManyChat to actually use the new way of collecting leads, and then a software called Calendly, which is free or cheap, to then book in consultation calls. And then for email marketing, you might want to level up a little bit and use something like Kit, which was formerly ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign or Klaviyo. And for those earning 6 figures or more, they're probably going to be on the intermediate, if not the advanced tech stack, which will be 2 to 4 social media platforms, both short form and long form content. They'll be using ManyChat and they'll be using a CRM, whether that's high level that I use and I use for my clients using Systemized Scales version of that, or something like HubSpot. Having that one software will have everything there: your funnels, your email marketing, your pipelines, your automations, everything in one place. And to finish this video, I'm going to give you 24 lead magnets, grouping them into the 4 different buckets. For example, here we've got 6 different for each one. Have a little look, pause the video, but better still, how would you like 200 of them? All you need to do is scan this QR code or click the link in the description, and I will give you 200 lead magnets. When I say I will give you, I mean ChatGPT. And if you're thinking of launching a new product or challenge, maybe click this video here where I give you 10 tips to make sure your next launch is your best launch.